Okay, well, we'll get going. First, I just want to introduce myself to some of you who haven't met me. I think I've met all of you now, but well, I haven't met you guys. But I'm Mr. Judge. I'm the new school counselor here, 712. Really enjoying my time, and kids are great. So, and staff is awesome, and parents are getting better. So things are good. I'm joking. So basically, I'm getting all this information from this book. Okay, and then personal experience, others' experience, and kind of going through everything that way. So I will be flipping through here. I have a bunch of these in my room if you want to get this and make sure I'm not a fraud. You can grab these too. These are a couple years old, so the numbers are a little off, but the information is still good. So, getting started, let's see here. We have seniors and juniors, right? A good mix of both, actually, right now. So good. So everybody, just to let you know, getting ready for college, just to let you know, everybody's at different stages. From what I've kind of gathered here, we have some people doing it for the first time. We have some people who's going through second time at least. So I'm going to try to hit everybody and try not to be boring. And I do a lot of hand gestures, so bear with me. And I do say so a lot, so start counting. So getting ready for college, we're going to start there. First thing you guys needed to know, that this whole college prep did not start tonight. This has started since your first day of freshman year. And I tried to, we've said that, I don't know, I wasn't there 3 years ago, 2 years ago, but your grades do matter. And you have to keep those GPA going. And the biggest thing with the GPA, classes taken, class rank, and ACT scores, some of you have taken them. Come on in. Grab a chair. Those have cushions. I like you better. All this stuff matters. And again, just to get into college. College, generally speaking, is a very confusing place because I don't know exactly what route you're going to go. There's a lot of different routes that you can go, and you got to find the best one that fits you. You ask me, it took me 9 colleges to get here. Okay, I don't recommend that because my bill is not too exciting. But again, when we're talking about it, the biggest thing that people get scared of is the price tag. And the number one thing I say to all kids who's doing college is not an expense. It's an investment. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because you could do no college and easily get an $850 an hour job, and that's awesome and that's great. You can easily do no college and get a $17, $20 an hour job, right? But again, it's all about where you want to get to and how you want to get there. I would not be, and I will tell everybody, I have right now 90 grand wrapped up in college debt. Again, 9 colleges, that'll get you. But again, it took me a while to figure out where I want to get to. Now, don't let me scare you with that number. That is just a number. Hi, come on in. It's all right. We started without you. So just don't be scared of that. Don't be scared of that number. What I'm set up, and again, I'm in education, public service sector. So again, if I make 120, and there's grants out there. It's a public service grant, forgiveness loan. So basically, I'm in public service. I make 120 payments. Everything else will be forgiven. So again, that in the back end, it's going to come again. So, and as a teacher, and there's many different sectors like that. There's a lot of programs out there. You just got to start doing the dirty work and figuring out where it all is. Okay. So again, don't let the price tag scare you. It's an investment. I am completely 100% happy. That number doesn't scare me again, because in 10 years, that's 120 payments. In 10 years, it'll all be forgiven. So, and I set it up so I pay the lowest amount that I can. So college really isn't going to cost me as much as 90 grand. So again, be aware and just knowing and doing your homework, it's going to pay off in the long run. So all this stuff matters to a certain extent, but I'll get to that later. All right, so again, I'm trying to hit everybody in every stage of life. Grab a chair. When you're applying for colleges, that's where we should be at this point right now. Some of you Junior parents aren't at this one. We'll get to that section in a little bit. I would say this is probably more geared towards senior parents, but again, junior parents, I'll do it the best I can. Right now, what you should be doing, junior parents, let's kind of go through the timeline. What you should be doing right now, junior parents, is getting an idea, going to college visits. And again, utilize. I have, this year, I think I have 11 colleges set up to come and meet me here and meet with students. The attendance hasn't been great. I'm trying to figure out a different way to do it, but I just can't. So I encourage you to encourage your kids to talk to them. Ask questions about that situation, okay? I know it's during success, but I don't want to interrupt your class time, but it's during success. That's when juniors get to leave. Or they stand 15 feet away and talk to their friends and not come in here and talk about their future. Friends are cool, future's more important. Okay, take 13 minutes out of your day and get some answers. That's what I'm going to encourage you to do. So doing that, schedule a few college visits. Again, you have to get a feel of the college. You could talk to the dude here or the lady and get an idea of what's going on, but you need to go to the campus and get a feel, because you're going to be there for 4 years, 2 years, and get an idea of what's going on. And then you could set up Iowa State. I know you could set up and go through their event, and you'll get to see the campus and all, but then you could set up and see your specific program of study that you're interested in. And that's a whole nother limit, a whole nother thing of don't be bogged down on what you want to do with your life. I'm still figuring it out. Ask your parents, they could probably agree. We'll get there too. But again, after 3 career changes, I could not be happier. And I think I'll stick with this one until the end of the year. Kidding. I'll do one more. I'll do one more for you juniors. But again, as you're applying through colleges, this is again mostly for seniors. Be thorough. Read carefully. Information and instruction. I'm not going to read to you today. You've all graduated. Be thorough. That's the biggest thing, because they're going to ask for stuff. Their deadlines are going to be there. Be thorough when you're applying for colleges. Be complete. Don't overlook details. Don't skip a line. Because again, all these things that I'm talking could cost you thousands of dollars. Your comma's in the wrong spot. It could hurt you. And then be timely. All these have timelines. I'm going to show you some scholarships that I have on our website, through my website, that have a December 1 deadline. That's right around the corner. Okay, so we got to be heads up and be ready for that. Now, again, scholarships could be super simple. Let's see if this works. Applications can be super simple. This is Northwestern's. You click on their website, you click on Apply Now, hit another Apply Now button, and this is it. You fill this out, you applied, you're approved. If you have a heartbeat. And that's great. No, it's a great college. I mean, all good things. So yeah, that's simple. Some of them, Dakota State, you have to have an email login and password and go through that. Keep track of that stuff. I don't have that information. ACT information, I don't have that information either. Okay, make sure every time you go to someplace, you are writing it down. Okay, the only thing I know through here is anything on JMC. Whatever you sign up, your username and password on ACT, I don't know it. I can't find it. Forget password is your friend for the next 2 years. So let me help you there. That's what I could do there. So, biggest things with those 2 things, all right? Any questions about applying or looking for colleges? All right, again, biggest thing that you need to know. Anybody seen this acronym right here? RII. Okay, for these 3 schools over here, Iowa State, Iowa, UNI, because they are affordable and they're so cheap, and a lot of people go through them, they set up this Regents Admissions Index. Basically, it's a fancy formula that eliminates people right away, okay, based off of specific numbers. Now, again, only if you're going to these 3 schools that it has it. Other schools have their own regulations. So basically what it does, it takes your ACT score. Again, if you have one, 0 times 2 is 0. If you don't have one, if you get one. So you take that score, 1 times your high school rank, We have one. They have one for none, but we have a high school rank, so that helps you. Then 20 times your GPA and 5 times the number of core courses that you have. We're talking English, math, science, social studies, and a world language. We only provide Spanish. So anytime you take one of those classes, that's a number of classes. Now again, if you take 1 year of English, that'd be one class. If you took a half, like if you took speech, that's a half a year, so that only be 0.5 in our system. Okay, so if you do that, put all your numbers in there, and I just did a simple student. It was 150 or 254 I came up with because we if you graduate here, you have to have 4 English, 3 math, 3 science, and 3 social studies in order to graduate from here. And then again, if you take 4 English, so 9, 10 applied, and CPE, that'd be your 4. And then you take speech and theater, you'd be at 5. Speech and theater is only a half a point. So you'd be at 5, so that'd be part of your 5 numbers there, and that's 20 points in just English. Does that make sense? Yeah, put that all in there. If it's above 245, you have a high rate of being accepted at one of those 3 colleges. Okay, that's one of those magic numbers. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. All the other schools in our area don't have that. Okay, so just throwing that out there if you're going to the big 3 in Iowa. And again, you can run through those if you want. So, post-secondary institution at a glance, there's many different types. We all know that. Community, business, health, profession. There's different kinds. Juniors, explore. See what you want to do. All right, get some examples of each kind. Go to a community college like NCC, WIT, Lakes, or Minnesota West. Kind of see what that's like there. And again, that is a great route. If you are unsure, that is a great route to go to get a lower costing education and use that. Or another way you could do that, if your GPA here isn't the greatest. Right now I'm looking at you all fine. But again, another way to do that, go to NCC, boost that up so then you could get your RAI number to go into a big school. That's another route to help boost that GPA, because the next institution you go to, they take the last completed degree. That makes sense? So I'll go there. Tuition and fees, room and board. Those are all, anytime you look at a school, those are all based off of full-time attendance. And everybody. And then community colleges do it per credit hour. You're looking at $153, $158, $163 a credit hour when we're going through community college. So you take, what is that? 12 hours, 12 credits would be a full-time schedule. So take that number times whatever it is, you can figure out what your just tuition and fees will be. Room and board, we all know what that means, juniors, seniors.
Sorry, I'm charging for.
What's that? Room and board is usually double what tuition is going to be. Room and board is where you're staying. You're staying on the dorm and things like that. And then we have things to do. So, again, there are options out there. If I'm going too fast, please stop me. So I have this website. There's plenty out there. collegesimply.com. I just pulled this up. This is all Iowa schools. You can get an idea of what they accept at this one. So Grinnell, this is the Iowa's Harvard. They want you to have an SAT of 1380. Excuse me, I'm sorry. To 1550, or an ACT of 30 to 33 before they start looking at you. Tuition of 50 grand. Again, don't let that number scare you. We'll talk about how to make that number lower in a little bit. Acceptance rates of 20. So there's one for you. Drake, Cornell, Northwestern here, 21 to 28, GPA 3 point. The average high school GPA who comes in 3 points. So you can just get an idea. There's sites like this all the time to look at before you start accepting to places. And I just did Iowa. They have Minnesota and South Dakota too. But just kind of get your head wrapped around on what you're going to go. And again, this number is full-time student, tuition, and room and board. Questions here? So this college is collegesimply.com. is the site I use just to do some research, trying to get some ideas of what you want to do. All right. So to-do list, first thing, again, seniors in here, visit fsa.ed.gov to get your FSA ID. You need that number before you do your FAFSA. Okay, has anybody done that step yet? How was that process?
It was great.
It was great. It's not too bad. It was great. It was the thrill of your evening. So basically, you're just filling in your basic information so everything can get tied back to and relate to this specific number. Okay, then you take that number and you go and do your FAFSA, and you'll be using your 2017 taxes. Make sure you have those. That makes life easier. If not, wait until you have those. Okay, so then you go through there. How's that process for people who've done it?
Not as bad.
It's not terrible. It takes a little bit. You're punching in numbers. They've really simplified it down since it's on the line now. Back in my day, you filled it out on paper. That's all they accepted, and that was a headache.
It is really nice though, because like you can upload everything.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad.
It's not that. And honestly, if you did it and filed it online, if you electronically filed your taxes, you hit import.
Yep.
It imports it all in, puts it in, and life is good. And you don't mess up any of those numbers. So basically, everybody know what FAFSA is, right? This is important because this is they use this information to figure out I lost the term right now, it'll come to me. But basically figure out how much a family can contribute to the student to figure out how much that student needs to pay for college. It's simply put how it is. A lot of scholarships, a lot of grants are based off of this. And again, this is to help the students who are in need financially. All right, so if you're higher up in the pay level, it doesn't benefit you a ton. So if you are down there, this is how it makes it a quote-unquote evil playing field. Visit campuses. And after you apply, review your student award letter.
So
Okay.
what, you'll get that student aid report like in the mail?
So what's going to happen, you'll fill out your FAFSA, and again, I can't log into FAFSA because I don't have my stuff anymore. But basically, you'll fill all that information out. At the very end, you'll get to select schools that you are thinking about applying to. And please tell me if I'm wrong or if I missed a step or if it's changed. So basically, you do that, and it will send all that information to the school that you're thinking about going to. And you can always go back in because they'll change their minds and they'll add a new one in. So you just send it again, and it's more than fine. Doesn't cost anything. They'll send that to them, and then they will send an award letter back, student aid report. And I'll show you kind of what one looks like, a very generic one. And basically, it'll say how much it's going to cost, how much we have found money for you, and everything else. So you'll get that at the first of the year. Start thinking about the first of the year, you'll start getting those, unless somebody has gotten them. Yeah, so usually it opens in October. About December 1st is the time that a lot of the schools want to have them by. And again, they accept it all the way up to July 31st. You can still do it. I don't recommend waiting it because a lot of scholarships and grants are based off of this. So my number to you is December 1st to be ahead of the game. So your information is there for all the schools to go to. So again, so basically that's going to go in. You have your tuition costs, your direct and indirect costs for college, and then we have our financial aid. Okay, and that's kind of that's a long ways to get to where I'm going to help. How are we doing on time? Good. I have you until I let you leave anyway, so. All right, so paying for college, we're going to talk about that. Some of the things that I've done that I'm continuing doing, I've talked to some of the seniors. few more than were here today, but I talked to them and shown. Prices vary, as you know that. Depending on the school you go to, prices vary. Therefore, what your FAFSA might indicate for one school will be different for another school. You look at the 2 award letters, and the numbers could be completely different of what you're awarded, and it's all based on factors on that school. I want you to know that. All right, so just bear in mind, so if you have a few schools working together, just know that's coming in. You may pay less than the published price. So we saw Grinnell, that was 50, or Northwestern was 30. There's a lot of things before we go into that, before you see actually what you have to pay. And again, those are all based off of, what you actually have to pay is all based off of academically how you're doing, financially how you're doing, and then also your skill set. And we'll get to that in a little bit. So, cost of attendance, indirect costs. Indirect costs includes the tuition and your room and board. That's your big ticket price right there. So the 30 grand at Northwestern. Your indirect costs, that's your books, that's your gas, that's everything else that gets you there. And college does not include all that. Some of you have had someone in there already know. So those little things could build up quite a bit. So you're not surprised at what's going on. Let's see. Transportation. Another big cost for me, indirect cost for me, was parking tickets. So be careful of those and where you're going. So you do have to budget those in. You have options out there. Again, filling out your FAFSA, you get automatically qualified for all these. All right, for many of the government and state programs that are out there. We'll go through each one of those. We should have seen these words before, right? Students, not parents. I know you're smarter than that. So grants, you don't have to pay them back. Grants are gifts. Those are great. With grants, most of the time they're funded by some sort of program. A lot of the ones that we're going to be talking about are state and federally funded. All right, and then a lot of times they also have, you have to meet certain requirements. Again, financially is a lot of them, like the ones that we're seeing here, the Pell Grant, the IO tuition grant. Those are all specific just to what your FAFSA says on what you can contribute to your child. I'll tell you about the Pell Grant. Again, this is for you students. I have always been, full disclosure, I'll let you know, I had just less than that, because I went to school back in the day, from a Pell Grant. My first semester, I averaged just over an F, so like a 1.8 GPA. I heard this new term that meant a lot to me and sticks in my ear. It's academic probation. Academic probation is a fancy name that says if you screw up one more time, you're going to lose your Pell Grant. And again, students, we see how much this Pell Grant is. That's for 4 years. If you can do the math, 6 times 4 is. Somebody help me out.
6 times 4 is 24,
24, right? $24,000. Okay? I got it 1 year, and then I put on academic probation, and I lost it again. I didn't get my grade point, because then you needed to have a 2.5, which is, again, looking back, very simple. I let college get in the way. I'm going to put it that way. But I lost it. If I told you a couple fun nights in college and you could lose 12 grand, and again, remember with the number I gave you where I'm sitting at right now? Can you imagine what my wife's thinking right now? So again, you have to meet certain requirements. And again, these are gifts. Don't abuse them. Right here, I have just a little over, what's that, 6? I don't know, I'm really bad at mental math. There's a lot of money right here. This is free.
It's about 13.5.
13.5, thank you. A semester. That's half your college just paid off just because you filled out your FAFSA. Right, again, these are maxed out amounts depending on financial needs. But again, this Kibbe grant, this is if you go into the vocational program. It's not based on need. If you go into a vocational program, plumbing, HVAC, electricity, windmills, things like that, you get that too. And again, when we're talking about NCC, where that program's at, Pell Grant plus the Kibbe grant, NCC is going to cost you about $5,000. We got most of it paid off right away. And that's not including what your academics can bring into it. So again, those numbers are scary, but we can find ways to do it. So, do we understand grants? And there's a bunch of them. I have a slide, a picture. As it looks like I didn't put it on here. I'll show you. I do have them up here, but not on this slide, so bear with me. Scholarships, which I'm going to try to help you out here today. These are awarded to various sources, all over, nationwide sources. I mean, you can get one from Hershey's, from Heinz. We're talking that one. And we have, I see 60-some local scholarships that are given away. And we have Iowa scholarships, too. They're just Iowa-based through Iowa, like Iowa Corn Growers Association. You know, anything of those, we have those. And I have a huge list, and I want to show, this is the most excited thing I am to show you parents. These are all based on various things: merit, talent, abilities, and financial need. So again, everybody is available to those. But again, if you have to do some work, and you have to get them. But if you do that, you can easily get college paid for, or a big dent taken out of it. Tips: be aware of deadlines. Again, like I said, some are coming up. Know the criteria. Follow the directions and details. Be professional. Again, simple thing. You're going to have to fill out an essay. 100 words, 5 pages. 100 words is not 5 pages, but 100 words to 5 pages. You're right, big font. Kind of keep a generic one, and you can use that one. Change the title, and send it out, and then it qualifies for another one. Again, you can be smart about this, but still meet the qualifications and press them with your answers. Do some work. Have some of these items. How many of you guys have a resume yet? How many of you have asked for a letter of recommendations? Hey! Yeah! Those are good. Ask for them. Again, I am willing to give you one, an honest one. I do say that. I will give an honest letter of recommendation. And then have your essays ready. So, back to what does an award letter look like? This is an award letter. Cost of attendance over here, you got $15,000, right? So everything goes in here. Room and board for both fall and spring semester, 7-8. Room and board, 8-1. Comes down, we got just under $16,000 for that. Plus we have indirect costs, books, transportation, personal. So we got a total of, let's see here, where's my math guy, 20? What? Huh?
Yeah, 20.
20. So we got that. Yes, 20. So then we got that. Now we have, this is what your award letter will look like. It'll come in and it'll show everything that you're qualified for. So again, these are our grants that we can have and scholarships that are on here. We have the federal Pell Grant. We have the University Academic Scholarship. Now each school has their own merits and things that you could reach and qualify for. I have those listed on a piece of paper, on a spreadsheet. It's super awesome. I'm so proud of it. So please use it. Then we have local community college. These are the things I'm going to be pushing seniors to fill out and do. Okay, like I said, I went to Iowa State alone. I found 3,496 scholarships, and that's not all of them, that you fill out one. It's called a One app at that place, and you get all your information goes through all of those to see how many of those you're qualified for. And that's just the big schools. So that's the university one, community college, local community scholarships. I have those all listed. So you'll get that number. This will also include, like, if you have a music scholarship, a theater scholarship, academic or athletic scholarship at that school too. So that you add that into there too. plus, then we have these things called federal Stafford loans, unsubsidized and subsidized. We'll talk about that. Again, you'll have this number, so right now just scholarships and grants, you got 5,750. We're a long ways from that, right? From the 20. You might have to pull out some loans. We have our Stafford loans. This is the government loans at a very low interest rate comparative to what the bank would be. So like 4, 5 to 5. I don't know what it's at right now. It's low, but this is when I have loans that I have to pay back. This is what I'm talking about. The Stafford. I have all subsidized loans, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Plus, there's a Federal Plus loan. This is another one on top of this that only parents are that fill out FAFSA are allowed to get. Again, a smaller interest rate. Then we have work study. Who's heard of work study before? Basically, what you do is you work for the school, and you'll get a paycheck. And those jobs could be various, from cleaning beakers to belaying people up a walk wall. I mean, those jobs are endless. I washed dishes. It was awesome. But you can get some money for that. Again, it's just like a normal job. That money goes right to you, and it's supposed to help with that personal needs that we have up here. And then your total work study, so they have enough money for you to do this. You'll say, which ones do you want? You're automatically given the scholarships. You have to accept or decline which ones that you want. So again, be careful when you accept those. Don't just say, hey, dollar signs, we need them. These are loans, like anything else that you would get. Parents, make sure you know that. You have to pay those back. Yeah, this was a worthwhile one. Subsidized, yeah, y'all can read that, right? Sorry. So subsidized Stafford loan, basically what that is, that's the federal loan. A subsidized loan is, this one it shows it's at 4.5%, but interest, the government pays the interest while you're in school, as long as you're in school. You don't have to pay those back until after 6 months after being in school. That's subsidized, they pay the interest while you're in school. Unsubsidized, the only difference, exact same thing, except you acquire interest as you're in school. So if you have to get a loan, you want subsidized, mainly because of the interest part. You have to start paying them back, all of them, 6 months after you are finished with your last class. You understand those? I want everybody to understand the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized. Parent Plus, basically it's available to parents of dependent undergraduate students. It's a loan if you filled out the FAFSA. This is all it is. It's just another loan that they allow you to have. Thank you. So let's go back to this. What I have for you, and I've been working on this. This is my baby, my project. So, high school website. Everybody seen that? Go to district information. Go to staff directory. Oh. Type in my name. Right now, there's a way to get there. They have somewhere in here, I think it's schools, they have scholarships. Don't do that right now. Me and Mr. Vermeer and I are working on making this all one cohesive document for you to use. Again, this is, you guys, this is the definition of awesome. You type this in, Judge, I'm the only one. Here, look. We go click on this little button there. This is my website. You can admire my picture. So we have this. Wow, we look tan. Wow. So what you're gonna go to academic, right? And we'll click on scholarships. This is the one I want you guys to use for now until we figure out how to do this. So what I have here, this is the Google Doc that Courtney Plotz and myself have created. All of our local scholarships are listed here. And if you see there's a blue line on there, it means there's a link directly to the website or the application that you have to fill out. This is gonna make you say, wow, this is who. So these are all the individual ones. I have deadlines of when they need to be done. A lot of them is March 1, and some of them are associated now. We have amount, criteria that you need to have, so you know if you spend your time on it or not. If it's updated, update, and then a short description of what it is. Also, on this side, if you can see it, we have the application that you need to meet. So this is the website where it's at. This is the actual application you need to fill out. Okay? We scroll down. These are everything we have available in our area right now. This is where you start saying, wow, Mr. Judge, you're amazing. So again, we start doing this. Right now, as these are all the local ones that we'll have you guys fill out with one piece of paper. We'll make copies for you. Golly, you're welcome. And then you'll be just automatically put into there. Wow. Look at that. Mr. Judge. Too kind to us. All the community awards ones that we have. Just keep scrolling down until you can't scroll down anymore, okay? Oh wait, kids, I'm not done. Right here, this page right here, I will tell you, $2.3 million worth of scholarship just on that page. You're welcome. Okay, now we go over here. This is what I've been working on. Anything that new that comes to me, I'll put it on there. So I update that as much as I can. So keep looking at that. You click on this tab on the bottom here. You see that? This is all school specific. So if you're looking at a school, and again, I have not even touched the top of it, but I went through Buena Vista, and if you apply through there, you know, they have their trustee scholarship, multi-scholarship, multicultural scholarship, whatever. It explains to you what also you could qualify depending on what you meet over there. So you apply for that school, you get the presidential scholarship. So there's those. I'm working through all the area schools. If there's one on there that you want and you don't see it, email me and I'll say, hey, that's a great idea. I'll get to it as soon as I can. So there's, again, like I said, it's not complete at all. Well, mainly because I got to Iowa State. And so I just said Iowa State scholarships. And yeah, there's one. Yeah, we're just to the end, man. So I could scroll. I just keep having you be and say, wow. But yes, that's what they have there. I'm going to try to do as much as I can in the area. Okay, be patient with me. But yes, please use this site. This is the biggest thing I wanted to show you. That this site is available. Go through the website to my website, scholarships, and again, the ones that are on the scholarships, there's a bunch of those too. Those are more nationwide scholarships. Okay.
Well, we can't start any of that until she's a senior.
Actually, no. Great question. So juniors, there's some of these I'm not going to find it right offhand because I'm under pressure. Let's see here. Boom! Right here, my friend. Juniors only. We have some of those on there, and a lot of these FFA ones, and I'm going to put that on there. Juniors may apply. You can apply for those too. Also, if you get awarded some of these, your first, second, third year, you can still apply for the same one. It's not just a one-year thing. So be aware of which ones you're awarded and how long they can go through it. So like the energy company one in the area. That one is a multi-year one. RIC, thank you. Yes, that one's a multi-year one, so you can get that a couple of years. So be aware of which ones you have and some of those specific things. Okay. That is my thunder. Okay. That's all I got. I'm ready for ask questions.
Where's your lightning?
Where's my lightning? I love her at home. I love her very much. Yes, tell her I said it.
So if you don't go to school in Iowa,
If you don't go to school in Iowa,
like say you go to Minnesota, is there another area you have to look for scholarships in that area, or?
I did put, I checked Minnesota West. Always check the website. I looked at Minnesota West, and they had a bunch that are just for Minnesota residents and things like that, in those specific areas too. So there are, yes, and a lot of these apply towards that.
Minnesota. We live in Iowa, but I mean.
Right, and then so let's see here. Let's see, like this one. This is only for if you go to the University of Iowa. This one, the National Corn Growers, this is for anybody going to any school. There's some out there for anyone going into an ag field, as long as it's in the ag field you're in. This one. So again, it don't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter the school. The only ones that do is the college-specific one. You have to go to that college. What's up? Great question. Thank you. Did that answer it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any of the local ones that we have here from our school, our area, yeah, that follows you to whatever college you go to.
So all the ones that like this, yeah, the ones that the school has,
Yeah. So all these ones.
that doesn't matter where you
That
go.
don't matter. That don't matter where you go. The biggest one is the ones like the Iowa-based section or the national-based ones. Those might have some specifics. But yeah, all the ones here don't matter. It follows you. Yes.
Can we complete the FIFSA or IFSA, FAFSA or whatever?
The FAFSA?
Prior. She's a junior this year.
Yeah, you don't need to do it this year.
Okay.
Don't do
Wait
it
till
this
next
year.
year.
Wait until next year.
Okay.
I mean, you can practice, I guess, but you can't use it. It won't do anything.
I don't know
Yeah, just save your hour.
that.
Anybody else, please? Don't be afraid.
That was awesome.
Was it? That's why I named it that. Kids, those who are late, I'll show you. I mean, it's. I can't run computers today. I lost it. It's funny. Any questions? Students, any of you guys? Again, what I will be doing a couple times this year is, a couple more times, is I'll be doing senior sessions. And again, some of your parents might be like, oh, I do that. No, just kidding. Come on in. I will have all the seniors and explain some things that I'm seeing that they're asking a lot of questions about. You know, the one that sparked me, I was saying Stafford loan, I was throwing out these terms, and I just got a lot of blank faces, like when you ask them to go do chores. So I was like, hey, why don't we pull everybody in and explain some of that stuff? Or what you should be doing right now. So here in December, I'll be like, hey, scholarships. Fill them out.
So juniors, it's really go.
Juniors,
visit colleges
go.
and start,
Yeah, go
and
explore.
Maybe a couple scholarships. And then
Yeah,
that's
go
about it?
explore. See what's out there for scholarships that you could fill out this year. There's not a ton, but they're out there, and they're worth looking for. There's millions of dollars of scholarships aren't awarded because nobody applies. So apply yourself and do that. But yeah, go find, I'm not going to tell you to figure out what you want to do with your life. That is absolutely crazy to tell a 16-year-old, 17-year-old to go figure out what they want to do. They don't even know what to do on a Friday night. But yes, just kind of get a feel of what's out there. So when they do have that chance, it's easier or less intimidating rather than starting now.
Will the students be able to set up a time to meet with you to say, okay, I really like this college, I really want to go into this field, will you help me?
Oh, heck yeah.
You
With
can-
bells
you
and
can
whistles.
help.
Perfect demo.
Yeah, no, and that absolutely. If you have, and I highly encourage kids to come in and do that themselves. I don't want to teach parents how to do this. Kids need to do this. Come in, we'll talk, and if you're like, I really don't know what I want to do, I'd love to have that conversation and see where we go with that one. Or,
How
you know,
about for me then?
come on in.
You know what I wanna do?
I'll let you know the rate. I'll slip it in. I'll let you know what the rate is. Yeah. You gotta be flustered, man. Yes, come in. Anything. If there's somebody asked, can I Iowa State? I want to go to Iowa State. I want to double major. I want to look at 2 different majors. Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'll call the school, figure it out, and bring that information to them. Because phones are scary. We can look at them, but we don't want to use them. I get it, high schoolers. I get it. So I could do that part.
Yeah, do they have a Snapchat account?
Do they have Snapchat? No. Oh, actually they do. Every college do. They're all trying to be hip and cool. Anything else? Please encourage your kids, basically come to the senior sessions, or I'm gonna blast emails out to you. Hopefully it's not enough where it all goes to junk mail, but anytime I see something, look at it. If you have questions, the people who brought you this information, they do a lot of sessions. They have okay, getting so excited I just can't say all the words. ICANN is a company that wants to help everybody do their financial aid, their FAFSA. So if you have questions, you can go to NCC. They have an office down there. I believe it's Thursdays. Don't quote me. You can go in there and sit with them, and they can help you with your FAFSA and help you figure out college budgeting and stuff like that. So ICANN is definitely a website that you can use, icansucceed.org, just for general, unsolicited information. Okay, they're not looking for clicks. So that's definitely someplace to use. We will have one in the spring where a lady much smarter than I will probably come and talk. And if she's not, I'll take charge. And hopefully they can give you more information. I really hope I met the wide range of needs. And if you just have questions, call anytime. I'd love to talk. And if I don't have the answer, I'll let you know and I'll go find it. Okay? I can promise you that. Thanks for coming. Go! Go get them! If you want to ask a question, I'll be here. I'll be here all night. Tell you. I'm running home.